position and wait for my go.
Hi, welcome students to your tutorial week 2. Okay, so on week 2 what we're going to do is that we're going to create a mock-up for your website design. So before you start to develop your website using programming codes, we have to create the mock-up first, which is the visuals, the look and feel, and how the layouts of the website is going to be using Adobe Photoshops. Okay, so Photoshop is a great way for you to create the visuals. In the end of the day, the combination of these two software, which is Dreamweaver and Photoshop, is what creates the front end and the design elements for your website. Okay, so first of all, I want you guys to download all the material from Open Learning, and then put it into a folder called week 2. So a week 2 folder, alright, create a week 2 folder, right, called week 2. Okay, week 2 folder. Okay, so I want you guys to place all the file that you have downloaded onto the week 2 folder. Okay, so we're going to work with this file. Okay, so there are several files that you have in week 2. Okay, so a website is based on either 12 column grid or 16 column grid. Okay, it's just a matter of different design preferences. Okay, so we will look into what are these two in your lecture sessions. Okay, but for this exercise, we're going to create a design based on a 12 column guide. So I want you guys to open the Adobe Photoshop file that I have provided. It have a 12 column file. Okay, so which is this one. If you open, I want you guys to open this one. Okay, so by right you will see a red lines. Okay, so that red lines is based on a 12 column grid. Okay, so they have 12 grid over there. So what are these 12 column? Basically that are the division of your pixels. Okay, so what are the pixels that we are going to talk about is 12 column grid. Okay, the total width is a 960 pixels from left to right. Okay, but 20 pixels is taken by the edge over there. Okay, so whenever you put an image as large as big as it is, the content, it will be a 940 pixels. And then you can see the breakdowns of each and every column is 60 pixels. Okay, and then the gutter, okay, the gutter is 20 pixels. Okay, the gutter is the lines that is in the middle. Okay, the column, for each column is a 60 pixels. So you look over here. Okay, 60 times by 60 is 120, and then times plus in the middle over here is a 140 altogether. Okay, alright, so you can see over there, okay, the pixels. This is the examples that is being given to you because we need to input the pixels when we start to develop the coding for your website. Okay, so back to this Photoshop. Okay, so first of all, we're going to create the first layout for your website by input some, what I can say is that some boxes, and then we can place image in the box. Okay, so once you already open the file that called 12 column guide that was given to you. Okay, so we do not know yet how much we need for the vertical canvas. Okay, so in order for us to change the canvas of our in Photoshops, okay, so if you look over here, there would be a very small canvas. Okay, so what we can do is that we can add the size of height of the canvas. So in order for you to change the height for the canvas, okay, so you can click over here, go to image, canvas size, and then change the height over here. Okay, the width I maintain the same, so the height I would say maybe I can put over there for now 3000 pixels. Make sure you make your changes according to pixels. Okay, change it to pixels, 3000, and then click OK. Alright, so now we have increased the height of our canvas. Okay, you can make adjustment if you do not have enough the height in the future by clicking here again. Okay, so for now I'm just going to use this. Okay, now you can see that your columns is small, so we can increase. Now we want what we want to do is that we're going to increase the size of our columns. Okay, by selecting here, Control T to transform. Once you see this bounding box, okay, you can go to the edge. Okay, for Adobe Photoshop CC, you need to hold your shift. For Adobe Photoshop CS6 and below, you don't have to hold your shift. Okay, so that will be the guides for your column. Alright, so now we have successfully increased the height of our canvas and also our guides. Okay, so in your Adobe Photoshop, so I'm going to start with by creating a shapes. So these shapes later I can modify it accordingly. Okay. Alright, so these shapes, if you click on the properties, Windows on the P properties, okay, so you can see what is the actual size of the shapes. So I'm going to Control T to make some adjustment. Okay, and then the size of these shapes I want it to be a 1000 pixels. Okay, input over there 1000 pixels. Okay, sorry, 1000 pixel. Right, so the width, okay, so height rectangle is 1000 pixel. Okay, and then I'm going to lock the layer over here, so everything that I'm going to do is going to be of underneath the guides layer. So the first thing that I'm going to input over here is the images. Okay, so you can click and then you can import images. Click over here, place embed, then the backgrounds. Okay, so that is the image that I'm going to input as a background for our header. Okay, so once you already have this image to going on, okay, what you can do is that right click, create clipping mask, and then automatically it will clip the image for you. Okay, alright, so I'm just going to create another bar on top of this layer. Okay, on the rectangle tools, just going to create a bar using basic shapes, and then with this bar I'm going to reduce the opacity. Okay, so this is what you call it, header bar. Okay, I'm going to reduce the opacity for the header bar quite intensely, so maybe around 50%. Yeah, I can reduce it down a little bit to 45%. Alright, so at the header bar, I'm going to put input a logo, which is that you can find over there, logo. Okay, so this is where you start to use your navigation, the placement. Okay, I'm going to make sure the logo is as big as that. Okay, nicely placed over there. And then I'm going to create a navigation bar on your right. Okay, so I'm going to click on text, horizontal. Okay, so for the text, I'm going to flash left. I'm going to type home, maybe some spacings, what can put like recipe once. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Recipe 2, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Recipe 3, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Maybe we can put the theme, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Contact us. Okay, so I'm going to increase the size accordingly until it looks nice, highlighted, until it look really nice like that. Okay, we're just going to make some adjustment over here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, reduce the size down a little bit until I have a very nice adjustment over there. Okay, 23 24. Okay, maybe just make some adjustment until you get this. Okay, until you get it nice. So this is where you start to use your grid to make sure you were able to make adjustment accordingly. Okay, so that is our header. Just going to make adjustment over there. Maybe change this one to a bold. Okay, right. Okay, so adjustment nicely done. Okay, so that is the header. And then on the banner part over here. Okay, so for the main heading over there, I'm going to use something that you can get from your text over here. Okay, the right ingredients for the right food. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste, and then using a horizontal tools. Okay, use this grid over here, or maybe smaller a little bit. Paste it. Okay, this one I'm going to use a center, and then make sure you use your grid, okay, towards your design. Change the font accordingly. Maybe which font is nice. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to change the text to much more appropriate text. Alright, And then since this is going to be the main headline, so I'm just going to increase the size accordingly. Alright, so you can make adjustment of your text using Windows character. Okay, so we're using Windows character. Okay, so over here there's properties. I'm going to make the adjustment on. Okay, the highlights, and then use your keyboard arrows to make sure you were able to get the right fonts. So I'm just going to make a few adjustments. Okay. Okay, so maybe I just need a size. Okay, I don't feel that it is good at that size. Maybe I need a bit more sizes going on. Okay, so the right ingredients for the right food. Okay, so I'm just going to place it somewhere in the middle. Okay, over there, see how I try to play with the grid. Okay, to make sure everything is following the grid. Okay, right. Okay, so last one, maybe we create a buttons. Okay, for this, so that it become a call to actions. Okay, so shape, fill color. Okay, don't worry about the sizes. Control T to make adjustments. Make sure it's following accordingly. Okay, right smack in the middle of the buttons. Okay, so maybe the button reduce the opacity a little bit, around 60% or 70%. And then there's a text on the buttons called read more. Okay, so I'm just going to use a normal text, Pro regular, with bold. Okay, so it's not going to be this. Okay, this one regular. Right. Maybe the size, the text are not going to be really very happy with the size, so my concepts. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can do. Okay, with the text, so going to be smaller a little bit. Okay, so that is the buttons. Okay, so if I turn off this one, okay, looks great. For the time being, maybe I need some bit of adjustment and so on. Okay, so maybe the text is a little bit smaller. Okay, so that would be great as well. Okay, so it looks nice for the header. Okay, so we continue to this the another sections down here for our site.